Now, it's been called the largest spy centre on Earth, jointly run by the UK and the US. The Menwith Hill complex in rural England monitors the communications of dozens of other countries. However, protesters are increasingly concerned that intelligence gathering is not the only thing that is going on inside. RT's Laura Smith has more.
It's a little piece of America in the middle of the Yorkshire Dales. It might look like some kind of theme park, but it's actually a spy base and part of the early warning system for the ever-expanding US missile defence shield.
It's a part of this huge kind of organism that's gripping the world, and it surfaces in different places like Menwith Hill, which is connected together and is the American military.
There's been a base in Menwith Hill since the 1960s, growing all the time, until the site now comprises 33 of those golf ball-like structures. Inside each one, a satellite dish, which collects information from US satellites, but also intercepts the communications of other countries. That information is then fed back to the US and used in what they call intelligence-led warfare, which includes special operations and drone attacks. To keep up with new forms of warfare, billions of dollars have been invested in Menwith Hill over the last 10 years. It's enabled the base to remain a vital component of the global US surveillance network. Menwith watcher Dr. Steve Schofield reckons the inner workings of around 100 countries are closely monitored here, something he dubs an unprecedented level of intervention.
The UK is providing a facility here that's involved in drone attacks that we know from independent assessments are killing and injuring thousands of civilians now. These are acts of war, and normally when we have acts of war, Parliament should normally inform people that we're involved in those, and we're not being informed. We're kept entirely in the dark about them.
This isn't news to locals. They've been coming up here to protest weekly for decades. But now their cause has drawn the attention of a global movement, Occupy. Helen Alexander is from Occupy Leeds and sees a common cause in Menwith Hill.
Consider its implications on our individual civil liberties, the fact that they can listen to all of our phone calls, they can intercept our emails. There's whistleblower evidence, there's testimonials that will back up the claims that what goes on there is not only political espionage but commercial espionage.
It's a far cry from the land of the free rhetoric the US is famous for, and critics see Menwith Hill as a symbol of that hypocrisy and of Europe kowtowing to US power.
What we're seeing is the Americans developing a new form of imperialism. This isn't about protection of democracy. If you look at the pattern of bases, the base investments that's been done by the United States over the past 20 years, it's all about ensuring that they have access to oil and other vital non-renewable resources in Africa, in the Persian Gulf, and we've got to challenge that. We really have to start challenging it before it's too late, because the next stage is probably the attack on Iran.
With the US's expansion plans for the ballistic missile defence shield up to 2025, and with Menwith Hill already part of the early warning system, this poking of America's nose into other people's backyards is stoking fears it could be the trigger to a new arms race. Laura Smith, RT, Menwith Hill, Yorkshire.